It's always nice to start off the year on a winning note. Obviously, it's preseason, so it really doesn't mean squat. But watching the boys go out there and get a W is always nice. And you know what else is nice? First, I'm watching hockey again and being able to talk hockey with you guys. Because the last time I did, it was a heartbreak. But it's a new year, right? It's going to be different things this year. We say that every year. But the Leafs do win their first preseason game 4-1. And it was so nice watching the Leafs on Scotiabank Arena ice in front of fans. Oh, it was so nice to see people in Scotiabank Arena cheering on the Leafs. It's so nice to watch. And it was just a sight for sore eyes, I swear. It was March 10th, I believe, 2020? The last time we saw fans in the stands at Scotiabank Arena other than the few healthcare workers there in the playoffs last year. So, fantastic stuff. And we saw a lot of good things today from the Toronto Maple Leafs. You saw some really good things from some new guys, and we'll get to that later on. But let's break down this game first. First period, midway through, 10:28 in. William Nylander enters the zone, stops up about top of the circle, and waits and waits and waits for Jake Muzzin coming across the blue line, making a beeline for the net. William Nylander with a beautiful cross crease feed. Again, this is my preseason too, guys, so I gotta warm up as well. And Muzzin walks right into the shot, and he beats the goaltender to give the Leafs a 1-0 lead. TJ Brodie and Willie Nylander grab assists in the play. And the Buds are in front 1-0. So a great start to the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We move ahead to the second period. On the assuming draw of a power play, Tavares wins it back to Sandin, who goes to Josh Ho-Sang, and I'm going to get to him later, who goes back to Sandin, who goes across to Nylander. I believe that's how it ended up. It might have gone to Nylander, back to Sandin, back to Nylander. But either way, it was a lot of tic-tac-toe at the top of at the blue line there. And it ends up on Willie Nylander's stick. In Matthews' office on the other side, it was Willie Nylander. And he fires it on goal. Tavares tips it home. And the Leafs have a 2-0 lead. All right, good stuff. Only $1:55 into the second period, and he got a 2-0 lead. Good stuff. We move ahead to about 7.5 minutes into the period, and a nice entry from Amadio, who goes across the cross seam to TJ Brodie, and the patience by TJ Brodie to wait for who? Scarborough native Mike Bunting. Getting in front of the net, and he redirects it past the goaltender to give the Leafs a 3-1 lead. The hometown kid getting the goal. Obviously, it's preseason hockey, but it's probably a dream come true to him to score for the Toronto Maple Leafs on home ice, and it gives the Leafs a 3-0 lead at the points. That's great stuff. You know, and the goaltending was pretty good. The defense was really solid for the Leafs today. Only allowed like 17 shots total, so they were very, very good. You know, in the third period, under 5 minutes to play, puck goes down to the Montreal end. I believe it was McNiven. Tries to fire it out, gets knocked down by Curtis Gabriel, and he had a day. And he buries it into the empty net. And now the Leafs have a 4-0 lead. He's got the celly going. He had a fight in the game. He was throwing the body around. Curtis Gabriel making a statement there in his first preseason game with the Buds. And then Tyler Toffoli scores within 2 minutes to play to make it a 4-1 game. But that's all she wrote. The Leafs win at 4-1. You know, they're 1-0 in preseason. It's a good start. Let's go through some stats. All right? The Leafs went 1 for 4 in the power play, and we all know how dreadful the power play ended last year for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They were horrendous basically the entire second half of the year on the power play. And even in the playoffs, it kind of dwell into that as well. And great to see in the first preseason game them to bury one. Feel the back of the net there on the PP. And a guy like Rasmus Sandin, who got an assist on that power play goal, is going to be an integral part for this team moving forward. Obviously, a former first-round pick of this team. We all want him to take that next step, right? A couple of years back, he had his AHL year full, right? Now last year he had that, you know, in and out of the lineup with the Leafs and then back with the Marlies. This is the time for a guy like him and a guy like Nick Robertson to take that next step and solidify their spot in the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, is it going to happen? I don't know, but it was a good start for Rasmus Sandin. He was very good tonight. And you faced 2 penalties by the 2 power plays from the Montreal Canadiens. You stopped both. And I thought a couple of guys were really nice there. Mario, I think we're going to really like him. And look, I think a lot of guys are going to fit in nicely. As I mentioned in the preseason preview, look, the names that came into this squad, they're not sexy names by any means. But those are guys who are going to put on this jersey, and they're going to give it their all every day. And it's not just about speed and skill for these guys. Guys like Michael Amadio, guys like Michael Bunting, Guys like Curtis Gabriel, for God's sakes. Guys like Nick Ritchie, who didn't play today. Those are the type of guys you're going to look at and say, okay, just give us your heart. Give us your heart and soul. If you need to throw a big check, you need to have a fight, so be it. Curtis Gabriel was an assist away from the Gordie Howe hat trick today. And who expected that coming into the game? I bet you going into the game, you didn't know who the hell the guy was. It's good stuff. That's the stuff you love to watch when it comes to preseason. Guys like that. Yeah, look, Nylander's going to do his thing and Nagel guys out. Tavares got a goal. Muzzin's great. That's all fine and dandy. But I want to see the Michael Amadios, the Michael Buntings, the Nick Robertsons, the Philip Kralls, the Mac Hollowells on the back end. I want to see those guys, the guys that you don't see very often if you don't go and watch the Toronto Marlies. And a guy like Curtis Gabriel is one of those dudes. All right? Shots on goal, 32-17 in favor of the Toronto Maple Leafs. 32-17. They dominated pretty good, man. They were great defensively. Only allowed 17 shots. Michael Hutchinson was very good. Ian Scott only faced 3 shots. I left for a brief time in that period, and I lost it. Did he leave the game with an injury or something? Either way, he only had 3 shots he faced. He stopped all 3. And Hutchinson faced 14, only allowed the 1 goal as a Tyler Toffoli goal late in the 3rd period. But overall, I thought he was really good. Early in the game when the Leafs were a little sloppy, he made some big-time saves. So a good job by Hutchie, doing a job, even though he's probably going to be the 3rd goaltender this year. He's going to be the starter for the Toronto Marlies, I'm assuming. Then again, with guys like Ian Scott and Joseph Wall there in the AHL, and those are the young guys you want to play. Is Hutchie going to be a guy you maybe keep in the press box as a 3rd goalie? I don't know how they're going to work it right now, but overall, he pitched. See what I mean? This is preseason for me. Willie Nylander had a couple of assists today. TJ Brody had a couple of assists today. If you have the Score app, they said that Austin Matthews took a penalty. They're on something crazy. They think Mitch Marner had an assist. They didn't have Amadio with the assist. So they're on something crazy. But, either way, guys, now I'm going to get into some guys that surprised me. A guy like Joshua Ho-Sang. We all know what happened with him. The work ethic and the cocky, it was not there with the Islanders and with Lou Lamoriello. That ain't going to fly. And he's clearly in a different mindset now. He clearly has a clear mind. You guys all heard the press conference with him, and he was saying, look, I deserve to be in the HCHL right now. So if that's the case, so be it. He's on a PTO. I think he was great today. The skill set is there. I think honestly, I would not be opposed to the Leafs signing him to a 2-way contract and, maybe slapping him in the AHL to start the year and be a depth forward at the very worst. He showed him the skill. He got an assist today. Or no, he didn't have an assist today, but he was on that power play that led to that 2nd goal of the game. So I thought he was great. Curtis Gabriel, I think it was fantastic to watch, man. He's not the prettiest player out there. I think we can all agree on that. He ain't the Bambi that like Austin Matthews is and all that stuff, the graceful skate. This guy's a lumber. He will lumber down the ice, but he's a freight train. You saw it a couple times. He ran over guys, and then people wanted to scrap after that. He ain't afraid to scrap. He dropped the gloves, and he got in a fight, and he also did a great job on the forecheck. That's why you always put pressure on the puck. He put pressure on McNiven, the goaltender. He ended up knocking down the loose puck. Goalie's out of the net, and he buries it. So Curtis Gabriel did a great job today. I think he was probably the player of the game in this one. You can say some other guys if you want, but I thought he was fantastic. Now, a guy like Nick Robertson, didn't see a whole lot of him, but again, on-puck pressure was important, was huge for him today. I thought he was really good, and that's so important. With this Leaf team, they're not this team. They're not the Winnipeg Jets of old, where everybody's 6'5" or higher. That's not the case with this Leaf squad. And I'm not saying they have to be a team that lead the league in hits. That's not what I'm saying. But you got to be hard on the puck. And tonight, they were. Every time a Montreal Canadian player had the puck, someone was glued to them, whether it was Gabriel, whether it was Nick Robertson, whether it was a guy like Michael Bunting, Amadio, Tavares, Nylander, whatever. They're going to do their thing. I'm not worried about those guys. But all these other ones, they did a job today. They were fighting. They're playing like they're fighting for a roster spot. And that's exactly what they're doing. And if they can transform that into regular season play, if they get the opportunity, this team could be a grindy team. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting year. Now, obviously, I don't want to start the optimism after one preseason game because that's literally all it is. But I saw some guys tonight play with heart. And that's something that we talked about last year. It was kind of lacking. Guys that want to win. Guys that want to be here. Guys that want to put their heart on everything Block a shot if you need to. Start a fight if you got to. You saw that today in a preseason game. These guys are fighting for their lives in the sense that they're trying to fight for a job. Right? And they showed that tonight. And I give all the credit in the world to those guys tonight. Fantastic job. Now, game 2 of the preseason goes on Monday night. It's in Montreal at the Bell Center. It's a 7 o'clock puck drop there. Let's see what happens. What lineup are we going to see there? Obviously, no Matthews because he's probably going to be regular season or maybe a game or two into the regular season with that surgery that he had. Maybe a guy like Mitch Marner we'll see in the next game. I don't know. But a guy like Mitch Marner, this is a huge year for him. And I'm not talking about points-wise. I'm talking all-around game. I want to see him be a dog this year. Now, will it happen? I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see what the roster looks like going into game 2. Or is a guy like Curtis Gabriel going to get another look? I think the guys on PTOs will. So like a guy like Joshua Hosang will probably get another look as well in Montreal at the Bell Center. There's going to be fans there, so it's going to be a ruckus. It's going to be a ruckus crowd there in Montreal. And as much as I don't like it, it's people in the stands at hockey. You gotta love it. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed watching hockey again and you enjoyed watching a Leafs W to kind of get rid of that PTSD of last year's playoffs, all right? Smack the like button to appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already. Comment down below. Thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game, what you like, what you not like from today's hockey game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. If I missed anything, also let me know in the comments below. Twitter's down below for myself. Follow, send me a DM to that great stuff. The Instagram link is down below, so follow up there if you've not done so already, guys. And I will talk to you guys Jay's Edition post-game tonight as they're taking on the Minnesota Twins in Game 3 of the 4-game set. As of right now, it's going okay. We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see what happens as the game progresses. And as for the Toronto Maple Leafs, as I mentioned, they take on the Montreal Canadiens in Game 2 of the preseason on Monday night in Montreal at the Bell Center, 7 o'clock puck drop there. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.